I can't say enough good things about how Taylor Swift is, how she treats us as players, as people, how she treats my family. And we see her like she's such a sweet, kind individual.
The Chiefs have always been a popular franchise, but their popularity has even increased since they adopted the Swifties. How has the team been able to manage just all the extra attention that you've gotten?
Yeah, I take it back to like the first time I guess she came to a game.
Hmm.
Uh, just seeing really I got off the field, I get on my phone to text my dad to see how he's doing, where's he at, and he's just like, "You won't believe this, Taylor Swift was behind me." And he like sent me a selfie. So I was like, okay, this is happening. And then just seeing the influx in social media and the amount of people that talk about it. I remember going back to University of Tennessee, where I attended and played football for 4 years there.
Hmm.
A lot of the fans kept asking, like, "Have you met her? Like, what is she like?" Like they could care less. So we're having like a great season or anything like that. They want to know about Taylor, but understanding how big of a star she is and how great of a musician she is as well. But I'll always say this in credit to Taylor, like she's an amazing person, super sweet, super kind, thoughtful. And, when you have someone at that level, you always wonder how they're going to be in a personal level. And I can't say enough good things about how Taylor Swift is, how she treats us as players, as people, how she treats my family. And we see her like she's such a sweet, kind individual.
Oh, well, now that you said all that, did you get an invitation to the wedding? Are you expecting one?
No, I'm not saying all that. I want them to have their moment, regardless if I'm there or not. It's their moment, and it's their relationship, and just want them to flourish and have a great time. But no, like I said, I'm good enough just saying hi.
Yeah, so on the football field, you're one of the highest paid guards in NFL history. When you signed a contract, you were the highest paid guard. Just what does that mean to you, being one of the highest paid guards in NFL history? And is that sort of motivation for you?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's a tremendous blessing, and I got to give God the honor, praise, and glory for that. I sat in a position at one point in my career, not knowing if I'd play another snap of football, and for me to be able to get blessed with that, and earn that, it meant the world to me. It means the world to my family. I reflect back to like my mom. I lost her when I was 15, and
Mm.
she never really saw my football career take off, the way it has, and my whole mission was just to make her proud, and for me to get that type of honor, I just wanted to make her proud, man. That's all I was doing it for, not necessarily the money or anything like that. With that being said, when you get that much money, there's a high responsibility that comes with that. I need to play at a high level. I don't want to disappoint this fan base. I don't want to disappoint our owner or my coaches, heck, my teammates around me. I want to make sure I live up to that, right? And at the end of the day, just because you got that contract doesn't mean it's just set in stone. I have to earn it every time I step onto the field. So for me, it's just stepping in that role as a leader, stepping in a role that, you know what, I have to be at my best every single time I step on that field because they think that way about me.
It's beautiful what you said about your mom. Does she inspire you each and every week when you go out in the field?
Yep. Every single time. It's weird. Whenever the national anthem, it starts singing it, I think about her. And that's sort of like my release right there, right? And for
Mm-hmm.
me, playing the game has always just been an outlet for me to release my emotions. And, for me, playing the game, you talk about your why, right? A lot of people, it could be financial, it could be different things, but my why has always been Dorsetta Smith. And that's the reason I play the game that I play. Just for me, it's making her proud and, her babies sort of creating a legacy that she can be proud of, the man that she wants and that she envisioned. That's what I'm trying to become.
That's beautiful. I love asking offensive linemen this question. Who are the toughest defensive linemen to block?
Yeah. Well, one, everybody's tough to block nowadays. Everyone's getting athletic. Defensive coordinators are doing a great job of scheming things up. Different looks have even varied from when I was a rookie, and they're getting older, so just keeping up with that. But I would say Aaron Donald to me was the toughest guy I had to block in my career. There's a reason he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he was definitely a challenge that day.
What's more gratifying, run blocking during a touchdown run or pass blocking during a touchdown pass?
Mm. See, the honest answer usually for a lineman would be run blocking, but when you got a guy named Patrick Mahomes behind you, he's throwing bombs. There's no better feeling than him and somebody up and just seeing a guy like Xavier Worthy, a Travis Kelsey, Rasheed Rice, or someone running down the field with the ball. Just that feeling when the stadium explodes. It's great. So that's
Hmm.
tough. I mean, both were great. I'm gonna go pass this time, but as
Okay.
a lineman, I can't say pass. Running block is probably a little better.
So you're a two-time Super Bowl champion. Obviously, last year's game did not go as the way you wanted. But when I hear athletes talking all the time. They say they remember the Super Bowls that they lost more than they remember the ones that they won. Is that true for you?
Man, I'll be honest. I remember all of them. I remember all. I remember the first day we roll into the site, to the last time. Either you celebrate or you don't have the results that you want. But I think the biggest thing for me is just soaking in the moment as much as you can. I remember the first one, just the amount of emotions that go into it. The pageantry that week leading up to the Super Bowl, what it means. And I just remember every single game. I can't really say one more than other. I mean, I just remember all of them, man, the good and the bad. And sometimes it's life, man. You're gonna have really good moments, you have really low moments like this past season, but you don't forget those, man. You're appreciative from all because you learn from them.
Yeah. Well, the Chiefs got off to a little bit of a slow start, but got a big win against the Baltimore Ravens to improve to 500. How was that win for the team psychologically, just to get back to 500?
Yeah, I think it's this league. There's so much parity in this league, and
Mhm.
it's extremely tough. Everybody's good, and you have to be at your best every time you step on that field. And for us, being able to get a W or get a W in the win column is always going to be a great feeling. You don't relax by any means necessary. There's still plenty of work that we have to do. There's plenty of work that I have to do to be a better player for my team, put my team in a better position to win. And for us, obviously, psychologically, it's always going to feel better getting a win rather than a loss. But we understand it's a long season and we have to be at our A game, man. So we can't relax at all. We have to understand the mission. And like I said, as a player, I can only speak for myself. I have to self reflect and see, man, I can be better on this block. I can do this better. I can strain better. So it's constantly chasing perfection, even though we're going to fall short.
You mentioned the parity going on around the National Football League, especially in your division. The AFC West is getting even more tougher. What will it take for the Chiefs to win their 10th straight AFC West title?
Yeah, just consistency and everyone doing their job. I think you don't overcomplicate things. We have great coaches, some of the greatest coaches in the NFL. And, it's as simple as if we just do what they tell us to do at a high level and a proficient level, we'll be just fine. And like you said, there's so much parity, especially in our division. There's a lot of really good players, a lot of really good coaches, and it gets tougher and tougher every single year. But at the end of the day, as players, we just have to do our job at a high level and, everything will work out.
Well, before I get you out of here, I got to talk about your quarterback. Patrick Mahomes surpassed Aaron Rodgers, the fastest quarterback to reach 250 touchdown passes. He's already been mentioned amongst the best quarterbacks of all time. Where does he rank amongst your ranking?
I'm gonna say number one because that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. I can't rank him anywhere else, man. I
All
think
time?
yeah, that's my quarterback.
Okay.
That's my quarterback. Man. So for me, Patrick Mahomes is always going to be the best. He's obviously the best I've ever played with, and some of the things he does on a regular day basis, just shows you how gifted of a player and a human being he is. But more so than that, just how good of a person he is. And I think that's one of the things that always stuck out to me when I first got to the Chiefs, in terms of a guy that you want leading your franchise, leading your team, just a good man, a guy that's going to be at the front and center for meetings, responsive, always on time, always ready when a coach asks a question. He just has all the properties that you would want in a guy like that. But like I said, I'm gonna be biased, but Patrick Mahomes always be my number one guy.